Hey guys, Jerry here, and welcome back to GregTech, where we are trying to automate the basic refining of ores for now. It's not going that well. Like I tried a couple of different things last time, and basically GregTech doesn't want to play now with Buildcraft. The rain tank from Forestry was incredibly slow to bottle stuff, and even though it says it requires power, it still did without power, and when I tried to give it power, it wouldn't have the power. So we gotta figure out something else, and to that extent, I've narrowed it down to two options pretty much. We can either make one of these tanks from Railcraft. It could be one of these, it could be one of the steel tanks. That one has the advantage of collecting water automatically, so I think that one wins. Alternative is a steel tank connected to a couple of those. And the other option, which I'm going for first, is the digital tank from GregTech. It appears to be the first tier of tank you can actually achieve in GregTech. So I've fabricated this. Like this thing took a lot of material to make, but I have this thing now. So if we, instead of these silly tanks here from Buildcraft that it doesn't want to play nice with, we put this thing in instead. Nothing happens. You know, I'm tired of these stupid things here. Actually, hold on. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe the. Well, actually, I did the pipe with my. Oh, that is. Maybe that's actually the problem. Let's just have a look here. See. Does it fill up with water now? No, it doesn't. Alright, let's wrench this thing. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And finally get rid of this thing as well. If we then put the digital tank right here, and we put the drain on the side of it, will it fill up with water? Yes, it will. Excellent, that's a start. Now something is working. That's good. Alright, let's patch up this hole then. So, yeah, this thing fills up with water now, so that's a start. Actually, I need this hole because we need to have pipes running in here. So now we need to get some pipes going. And since I know how Buildcraft pipes work, I'm gonna stick with them for now. Buildcraft pipes, they might not. A lot of people hate them because they require a bit of extra maintenance or a bit of extra care when setting them up, because you need to make sure that you're not overflowing with stuff. But on the other hand, I like that they're sort of manual, that they aren't like that they're advanced in a sort of very straightforward way, basically. So let's get a bunch of different stuff. I'll need one more redstone engine, but I do have one in spare because I made an attempt out here. I tried to see if I can get the Railcraft rain tank to actually fill up this thing, but this thing actually outputs into the tank instead, so this is not even necessary. It was just a waste of space, pretty much. So let's try with the setup that we have here, and basically we're going to replicate what we have here, except that we're going to use the digital tank instead. So we have a diamond pipe underneath. Actually, hold on, we don't have diamond pipe underneath. We have a wooden pipe underneath to pick up get the stuff out of the tank. Then it goes into a diamond pipe in order to be sorted. And then the empty cells will get sped along over here. Not into this chest, that's a problem. We need to mine out this block as well then. So empty cells go over there, and then we need the full cells to return to the top. And we want these to come. Is that too far? No, I think that's good. Like that. And of course this has to be a wooden pipe. And redstone engine there, redstone engine there. And then we need two levers, which I don't have on me. Luckily, they're easy enough to make. So grab these. One there, one there. And then all we need now is an empty cell to go into the green one here. So everything else will not go into the green one, it'll get spat out. Which is why we're gonna need to make a big chest to put here. And from here on, everything basically should be sucked out of the digital tank up through here and put back in. And I'm hoping it'll put in the right slot. We can actually be a bit more efficient with this, I think. If we get this stuff down here instead. Then we can put a hopper on top of it. Alright, so let us get a chest. A nice big chest. So get some of this, and then we'll upgrade it to copper. And then we'll go from copper to silver, I guess. Do we have silver? Yes, we do. Actually, hold on. We can go from copper to iron to gold. We'll need some glass. I just want to save the wee bit of iron that I can. So that's why I'm taking the copper step. So I'd rather spend 8 iron than 4 copper, basically, is what I'm saying. There we go, iron chest, and then to gold. And that should be big enough for now. So we'll take a gold chest and put here. So basically anything that isn't an empty cell should go into the yellow one. So now we just need to test this. Let's pull that, pull that. And then we're gonna need to fill manually. First of all, we're gonna need to put a couple of cells in here. So the tank fills them quickly, and the engine is pumping them out rather nicely, and they get sped up. Could use another gold pipe here. That should, yeah, they're overtaking it. The first one now. That's pretty good, and they're going in the right slot as long as we have iron ore up here. So the big question is, if we ever run out of cells. And the other question is, of course, will this engine ever be able to catch up? Because this engine down here is the one responsible for pumping out stuff. And like if we put, for instance, sodalite ore in there, you can see the recipe here. You get 36 small piles of stuff and 1 cell. So you're going to be stuck pulling out a lot of this stuff before you can even get to the cells. But then again, I guess it's just a matter of having enough cells in here. So we'll see how that works. But let's get a hopper going. So that means another chest. And another 5 iron. Like that. Oh wait, the hopper recipe has changed actually. Let me just quickly... Does it use... Yeah, it uses plates and a wrench. Is there actually an easier way to make it then? Assembling machine 5... Yeah, okay, I guess that's sort of easy. But again, it only saves the wrench, it doesn't really save much in terms of anything else, so let's just yoink. Let's get the hopper going here, and then we can start stuffing in some ores. So let's just get a ton of iron in here. And again, as long as there's at least 1 cell left in here, the hopper shouldn't fill up the other slot. But if the cells do run out, because this engine can't keep up with the the amount of small piles of dust that pop up in here, the hopper might actually fill up both slots. No? Alright, that's good actually, because then now the grind will basically pause until the cells start being pulled out. And I guess we can live with that. Let's put 1 more gold pipe here. It seems that you just need 2 gold pipes if you ever want to speed anything up, so... We could also put a bigger engine here to pull out stuff. Like I think a Stirling engine can basically pull out half a stack of items each pump instead, so... But of course it would need fuel, which makes it a bit more inconvenient. We'll see. But again, it is automatic. It will go through it all. It just needs a bit more time than like it'll have this little break period here until the cells start refilling. And my hope is, of course, that yeah, all right, it just manages to pull out all of them before they go in again. Yeah, stuff going in here, and from here on, like I guess it would be nice to have some sort of auto crafting thing, which could basically just try and craft whatever we have here in 2x2 and then get rid of all these small piles of dust. But again, crafting 2x2, it's not exactly hard. It doesn't take a lot of doing. And it seems to actually, now that it's up to speed, it can actually manage to empty it out before the next thing comes in. Again, it won't do that with Sodalite, but at least for the iron it appears to be working, so yay for us! We got something semi-automatic going. Excellent. Now I'm wondering if the quarry has actually finished up what it's doing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly get rid of all the stuff, random extra stuff I have in my inventory here. We have a bunch of Buildcraft stuff that goes into Buildcraft chest. Don't need that. We have some fluid pipes. Wait, for some reason I'm storing over here by the old Steam setup. Again, I kind of want to get back into Steam. It's a fun challenge with Steam, but I'm gonna need to figure out exactly how these bloody Buildcraft pipes work, because the amount of water that I was able to get, even with the automated setup I had, it didn't work that well, and some of the engines actually did run dry still. So this thing, yeah, the digital tank here seems to be working just fine. It was expensive as hell to make, but it works, and that's the big part for now. See, actually, do we have any other ores here that don't benefit from anything else than water? Like, I think lead here benefits from, yeah, mercury. We have nether quartz. Does it even do anything? Yeah, nether quartz we can put through. We have some tetrahedrite. Does that benefit from anything? It benefits from sodium persulfate. Like, this is the challenge of it. Some of it has a little benefit. Bauxite works perfectly. So let's put the iron first, then nether quartz and bauxite. Alright. Again, eventually we could have 3 grinders connected to the same thing and have one over here with sodium persulfate coming in, one of them over here with mercury coming in, and then just have some sort of ore system going in, or sorting system with the ores going in to different spots. But for now, let's go back to the quarry and have a look. I don't really have anything, like, I want to keep a couple of batteries here, just for emergency uses, so I don't want to take them all. So let's just go over there and see if it's finished up, and if it hasn't, then take back the batteries. We can also have a look at what is picked up. Actually, distraction. Let us try and get a seed from this. Did I get a seed? Yes, I did. Excellent. I got a seed. So let us take one of these and one of these, and just try setting up the crossbreed on this again. I'm actually going to try this as well here. Indigo blossoms, indigo seeds, excellent. I'll need a new seed chest here. Oh god. Alright, let's just set up this one for crossbreeding again and be on our way. Again, not too much distraction, just trying to, you know, be a bit optimal about this. Now I'm a bit excited to see it, because the quarry, like, I left it when it still had like half the energy in it. So it should have dug quite a bit further, but I don't know if it's actually dug enough to be finished or whether it still needs more power. If it does need more power, we should have enough inventory space to bring back all the batteries. We can toss them in the... There's a zombie coming for me. Let's get away before he reaches me. We should have enough. Like, if we can get the battery filled up one more time, at least that should finish up the core completely. And if it doesn't, then there's something wrong. But yeah, you've seen you guys seen this path already, so there's no reason to show you again. I'll skip ahead. And we are at the quarry, and it looks as though it has run out of power without finishing up completely. So let's get all these batteries. Why is this? Oh, that's the sodium, that's why it doesn't stack. Okay. So the little bobber is nowhere to be seen, but I'm guessing that's because the core is not working at the moment. It has made it quite far down, like it looks like a bottomless pit really, but I think there's still a bit down there at the end. So let's see, do we have anything good here we want to bring back? And I'm a bit disappointed in the amount of uranium I'm seeing here. Considering that how much power we put into this, I would have loved to at least receive enough uranium back to, you know, finish or to replenish what we used. But I didn't see any diamonds at all, so I don't think we're at diamond layer just yet. And a good bit of the uranium that I've ever seen, at least, is found in the diamond layer, so could still do it. It's a gas shooting me. Let's just use that the path here is easy to navigate and sprint past them. Like before too long, this path is just going to be like the sole bastion of land left in the Nether, because everything else is going to be blown up by ghasts. But yeah, as you can see, this lava lake here, it would be fantastic to just kind of start pumping that up and using it as power. I don't know if there's anything in particular that you can only do in the Nether, or whether it would be worth to you know, just to pump it up and just use it to refill batteries and move those batteries back to the overworld or whatever, like some sort of energy transport system, and just use it for generation. It might also be worth at one point putting a quarry into the Nether, I don't know, depending on how things goes with various stuff. But yeah, we have some semi-automatic power or processing going now. We could optimize it a bit more, like if we just hooked up a macerator to it. But again, it would take quite a bit of filtering to get it to actually accept all ores and such, and potentially it would end up being a very cramped in the workshop if we did like that. Put these down here, the backup batteries, and this one as well. See, but yeah, at least we're getting some processing done here. So we have a good pile of nickel, and we have tin. I don't know actually, is nickel good for anything? Nickel dust, Invar, Cupro nickel, ultimate. I don't even like stainless steel. Yeah, but you don't need nickel in the amounts that you're getting here. Again, Invar is also something that we're not really using a lot of. It is used in a very few number of machines, like some of the generators. Apparently, you can use it to make. You can use it in place of steel to make the mixed metal ingots here. It's used in the chemical reactor, which you already have. The alloy smelter, which we already have. It's used in the electric rock breaker, which I guess could be interesting enough, but we don't really need a couple generator. We have a quarry. It's used in a gas turbine, but unless it's used in the big gas turbine, then it doesn't really matter much. And finally, there's also the thermal generator here, which is actually used to make the thermal boiler, which is one of the bigger, like it's a big multi-block power structure that uses a lot of steam but produces a lot of power. Or rather, it produces a lot of steam, and then you can have a big steam turbine, which then uses the big amount of steam to make a big amount of power. And I think you need 2 thermal boilers or something like that to power a single steam turbine of the biggest kind. I actually think there's one of these manuals here which describe in detail. Yeah, thermal boiler. So, the main boiler block, 20 reinforced machine casings, 2 input hatches, 2 output hatches, and a maintenance hatch. Yeah, so you make a big thermal boiler. Now we need to figure out exactly what... if you want to use lava with this, why shouldn't you add a lava filter to extract additional resources from the lava? Molten salt. Then you don't need a filter. Molten salt. I don't even know how you make molten salt. And then there's some bit of maintenance and such, which I'm actually kind of dying to go into. But yeah, we need a lot of water for this. In order to make the steam. Which is why we can't really do it in... Okay, a good nuclear reactor for molten salt. Is there a different nuclear reactor? That's the question, really, isn't it? Because then you have the turbine here, which needs a lot of steam. So 28 machine casings, dynamo hatch, input hatch, output hatch, turbine rotor. Blah 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 blah. 3x4. This is a big one. Grab your dynamo hatch. Blah blah. So yeah, so this one uses turbine rotors which break, so that's why there's so many different of them. Some of them work better, some of them more efficient, some of them have high durability. And yeah, let's see, 1600 liters of steam per tick, up to 800 energy units per tick. That's a lot. It will also output 10 liters of water for these 160 liters of steam, so closed boiler circuits are possible. Okay, that's actually very interesting. So basically, if we could take the digital tank, for instance, and just a couple of buckets of water, and get into the nether and have it inside the system, we could have a closed system in the nether, producing a ton of power. That's actually, it really sounds like an interesting project to do. Setting up a couple of thermal boilers, 2 thermal boilers, and then having a closed circuit with just a ton of water going through a digital tank, and then being distributed to the 2 thermal boilers again to be reheated into steam. And then we just need the lava to pump into the boilers. That would actually be very, very interesting. It would take hell of a lot of space, it would take hell of a lot of resources, but it would be very interesting. I actually kind of like that idea. I really do. It will also pretty much enable us to completely avoid the nuclear reactor, although it has been working rather decently for us. Oh god, we're almost out of power here. That's the thing about automating a machine that uses a lot of power. You end up using a lot of power, and without the nuclear reactor, that was nearly spelled some sort of doom for us. Alright, so batteries are recharged. I'm gonna get these back to the quarry, and then sometime in the future, the quarry will be completely done, and we can relocate it or do something else with it. But yeah, I'm gonna look into how much material we actually need to make the thermal boilers and such, and then sometime in the future we'll look at that. So until then, I'm Jerry, this has been GregTech, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!